All right, guys, welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. If you're watching this video, it's all about which Underground Sea beta is a reback card. Find out in this video, enjoy it. I want you guys to learn something. Thanks for watching.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit VintageMagic.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com, and today we have two cards. One is a beta, original beta edition, and then the other is, well, a client of mine sent me this card and says that it could be a reback beta Underground Sea. So let's take a look. I've done this before many other times. Check out the other videos. So here is an actual beta. Let's take a look here. You want to hold on a second. I'm going to adjust the lighting real quick. All right, and we're back. So this is an actual beta played Underground Sea. Look at the print, guys. Hold your freeze your camera, whatever, on YouTube. Look again at the Rob Alexander. So first off, guys, the most important thing with any beta card or any Magic card is the light test. I've already done the light test. The problem here is that collector's edition cards actually pass the light test because the type of glue that they're using, it basically seals it and keeps it intact. The printing actually of the one down here, which is the one in question, is actually a real Magic card. So that's troubling. The back, now I think the back might give it away. Let's see. This is the real beta. Oh, look at that, guys. Right out of the gate. What do you guys see there? My friend Tavis King is expert at the counterfeits. But notice very carefully. He has told me before that there is these Chinese counterfeits. I don't know what edition or type of attempts they've done, but he might be watching this video. I do know that this Magic back on the right is the one that's in question, has this much brighter M. You notice that? And the original ones from Beta and Alpha especially are a little bit darker blue. I also am noticing something very interesting. When there's a reback type of situation, there's a little bit of warping. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but I can see it like right down this line. It's like this, let's see. It's not shined, but there's also a warp. It's kind of like a wrinkle line. It's almost as, and that happens a lot if there's any kind of moisture when you have to re-glue something. All right, so this is the other one. I'm going to hit there, right there in the print. Look at the print, guys. Compare that with the original beta one. Those of you who don't know what Magic cards are and why this happens, and you're in Pokemon world, Magic cards, there was a set called Collector's Edition and International Edition back in '94. These were glossy, square corner, gold back cards. They're square corner too. And what people did was they proxied them, and I want to say they're counterfeited. They're proxy, meaning they want them to look like beta, but have a Magic back so I can play them in a tournament because Magic cards are expensive. And then what they did was then they basically cut the corners, right? So it had the beta look or the alpha look in some cases, but beta look here in this case. Oh, one thing really interesting about the corners, guys, is there's no flip at all. I want you to look carefully there. Right there. There's no kind of flipper stuff. It's just straight cut. It's almost as if it's been machined in some way, right, with the top one. You'll also notice that the beta one is on the bottom. It's super dark and vivid, right? And that's because of the fact that the printing back in the day with the betas and the alphas and stuff were just deeper. The glossy finish that's on these collector's edition, do you see that? This is the collector's edition one. that I can already tell. It's rebacked. It's shiny. It's super shiny. Look at this again, guys. Is that shininess? That's ridiculously shiny. All right, so let's do the bend test. Everybody wonders how this is going to look. So it bends, and let's see. It holds pretty. It's supposed to come back, and it does. I've seen the rebacks, basically have the bend test actually not fail, because the type of, just the reback quality is so good. Let's see if I can see the thickness. Yeah, this is a really, really good reback. It's almost, you know what? God, I might have to send this to Tavis. Take a picture of this or something. I might have to show him. If this is like a counterfeit beta, that's just sick. But it just feels like a, what do you call it? It feels like an actual collector's edition card. I haven't seen any Chinese Underground Sea betas that look like collector's edition. Actually, in fact, I do have actually a signed, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to get that for you guys. Here, hold on a second. All right, guys, I adjusted the lighting. So here's what's going on. This is a collector's edition or international edition. There's two versions, but exactly the same. Square corners, as you can see. And look at that. There it is. International edition right here. So this is what you would find originally, and they would strip the card and then reback it. Now, this is I want you guys to see what I'm talking about. This is the reback card in question right here. And I want you to look at the print, okay? So this is what I've been doing I tell everybody this all the time. Look at the print, okay? Look at it, guys. It's a carbon copy. Let's look at the Rob Alexander. I think the international and collectors might be a little bit different, just slightly, because this might be a collector's edition. But regardless, the thickness of the illustration, the Rob Alexander is basically identical. You see that? All right, so we've proven that it's basically going to be a collector's edition, but I'll put this to the beta like I did earlier, but now it's a better lighting. The bottom one is an original beta Underground Sea from the beta edition. And right here, guys, on the bottom, the top is now the original beta edition. I moved it. And the bottom is obviously the one in question. And here is the collector's edition square corner. I'm basically sandwiching now the beta, and you can see now that the Rob Alexanders. Boom. You guys see that? Look at the illustration, super thick. Obviously the lighting's a little bit off for this, but the beta is completely different. You'll notice the beta has less thickness in the gray. That's a classic sign. They corrected that, a lot of that print stuff for the Underground Sea. And the last thing I'll do here is do the Underground Sea print. And there you go. Wow. Clear as day. I've been doing this for a long time. These are classic signs. Another also important thing to look at is the centering. I don't know if you guys know this, but actually if you look at this carefully, the collector's edition and the actual reback are basically the same centering. It's a very thin to the right, left, I'm sorry, and very bigger on the right. That's generally the case, whereas the beta here actually is relatively better centered. That's typically for Underground Sea, the left and right is not usually off-centered, and that's another sign of just knowing the cards, knowing the market. I think if you look at it carefully here, this is a good picture. Look at the box and the black border. You can't really tell perfectly, but I can tell by the amount of pixels just kind of looking at it. The black on the actual beta is probably another strip more than the actual CE cards. That's a giveaway. They're generally always off-centered. All right, guys, I'm gonna close with my final thoughts on the situation. Hold on a second. All right, guys, so my final thoughts about this entire thing was this. The gentleman that bought this on, well, saw it on eBay, but then did the transaction off eBay to save the PayPal fees. You know, there's a win-win for everybody, right? And the eBay fees. And then what happened was the gentleman that bought it, my client, actually tried to talk to the seller, and the seller refused to give the refund immediately. Now, I think the auction is now, there's an eBay protection for 45 days or so. This was over the time limit, correct? Right. Actually, you know what? You did it off eBay. Actually, you know what? Sorry. When you buy it on eBay, you have an eBay protection in PayPal because there's a link to their, like a service, right? If you're not happy with it, you can get a refund. The problem is when you do PayPal, friends, and family, in this case, there's no eBay protection. That's important, understand. Number two, there's no credit card protection unless you've used your bank account. Like let's say I use my Chase bank account or something, right? Bank of America, whatever. Then there's no protection at all because it's like a personal transaction and you have to litigate to like your local court or something and kind of like small claims court, and that's just a pain in the ass, right? That's really bad. So warning, do not pay that unless you don't know this person. So my client researched this guy, looked legit, right? But then when it came down to actually getting a refund or sending it back, the guy was like, no, you have to send the card to PSA or Beckett or something and get it graded. Now, here's the problem. Number one, why is my client, who is a customer, having to do that? The person who sold the card should do that. That's completely, unethical, wrong conduct. That's not the way it should go. You're telling the client to basically send the card, spend the grading fee, spend the time, the shipping, the paperwork, whatever. It should not be like that, right? You buy something from a store or someone, you do the great customer service. Number two, what if PSA and Beckett F it up and they do grade the card? Then my client has no, essentially nothing, no backbone. And I'm saying this because there was actually several videos that I made that there's actually a Beckett Beta Black Lotus that was rebacked BGS9 Beta. And that right there is the clear as day example that the rebacks are so good. I mean, some of the fakes are so good, but the rebacks are so good. If the graders don't catch it, they slab it, then it's basically shit out of luck for the client, right? So I'm hoping whoever watches this video, if you are the seller, I hope, and I believe the seller's done business with me before. I know the guy, actually. I've looked at this eBay ID. I'm not going to be public about this yet. I don't think I want to get into that point. I'm hoping the seller is watching this video, gives the client money back. I'm here in Vegas appraising the card, and I'm shocked that this is even happening. So I'm hoping you'll contact me, vintagemagic.com. Go to contact us. You want to contact me, we talk on the phone, whatever you want. But please, I think you should work it out with the guy, the buyer, and it's the best way for everybody. And another thing is understand, if you don't do it this way, you can lose out a potential business with other clients and the clients. And you also don't know how much they'll spend with you or do business with you. And I've learned that if you do the right thing with the clients, they're generally going to always remember that and come back to you anyway. So hope you guys learned something from the video. If you have any questions, put in the comments below. I'm hoping that, again, contact me, vintagemagic.com. If you're the eBay seller, I'm hoping the client will forward this to you and we can do the right thing and make it right for everybody. All right? Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. And don't play poker against Jeff Boski. He takes all your money away. Thank you everyone for joining me. It's me, Daniel, with vintagemagic.com. I'm excited to share more about our appraisal services. All right, so the first step of the appraisal process is determining if your items are authentic. After determining that the items are authentic, we will then do a market evaluation of your items. So oftentimes clients ask me, hey Dan, I want to insure my collectibles. Well, after the authenticity and evaluation part of the appraisal process, I would then construct an official letter and we would send that off to the insurance company. Your insurance provider would then offer you insurance based on the evaluations and authenticity. We also offer pre-grading services. So collectors who are looking to save money on grading can go through us. We will actually grade and authenticate the cards before you send it off to grading, and that will save you potentially thousands of dollars on grading fees. Also, we offer estate collection services. So basically, if you have acquired a collection over the years, either from a family member or yourself, and you want to pass it down to your kids, we're able to determine valuations based on the levels of today.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.